I am Bijal Kansara, Assistant Professor from Electrical Engineering Department of Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technical Education and Research Center, Navsari. In this video, we are going to talk about controllers. In main controllers, we will discuss classification of controllers, advantage and disadvantage of electronic controllers, and analog electronic controllers like proportional controller, integral controller, PI controller and PID controller, and lead and lag compensator we will discuss in this video. Now, controller. What is a controller? Controller is a device that generates an output signal based on the input signal it is received. The input signal is actually an error signal, which is a difference between the measured variable and the desired value, as can be shown in the feedback from the control system. Means controller is a device that generates an output signal based on an input signal it received. In this figure, this is a block diagram of controller. These two are inputs for the controller. This is a controller, and now controller output is given to the control plant. Means in plant we control some quantity by using this controller. Then controller output is given to the becomes an output, and from the output we can sense this output and take back to the input side as a feedback. So this is a reference input, means desired input, and this is the feedback. By summing these two inputs we generate an error signal, and this error signal is the input for this controller to produce the output as per requirement. In the most of industrial process, it is necessary to control a typical process variable such as a temperature, pressure, etc. at the reference value called as a set point. A device or instrument used for achieving this is called as a controller. Now, a sensor measure or transmit a current value of the process variable called as a process variable is PV back to the controller. Means sensor. This sensor transmits the process value to the input side. Now, controller error ET at the current time t is computed as a set point SP minus measured process variable. ET error signal generated is a set point value minus present value. The controller uses this error signal ET in a control algorithm to compute a new controller output signal. The controller output signal is sent to the final control elements. Final control elements like valve, pump, heater, fan, causing it to change. The change in the final control element causes a change in the manipulated variable. So the change in a manipulated variable means example flow rate of fluid or gas causes a change in a PV value. Means this sensor can send a PV value, present value to this summing point, and this is a set point. So the error signal is a set point minus present value. This is given to the controller, and controller algorithm process this error signal, then it given to the controller plant from which we have to control the quantity, and then given to the actual process can be controlled. Now, the function of this controller is receive a signal corresponding to the quantity to be the control, to compare this value with the reference set point value, calculate the error between the reference and the actual value of the quantity being controlled, to produce a control output signal proportional to the error in order to minimize the error. Means feedback signal can be sent to the input side, and then error signal is generated. Means error signal is generated in accordance to minimize the error. Now, classification of controller. Figure shows the classification of controller. Basically, controllers are classified as a hydraulic, pneumatic or electronics. Hydraulic means the fluids like water, oil are used as a fuel liquid. Pneumatics means control signal can be achieved by using air as a fluid, and electronics means controllers using electrical signal. Electronic controller further can be classified into two types: analog controllers and digital controllers. In analog controllers there are four types: proportional, integral, differential and PID, means combination of these three. These four we will discuss in this video. And the digital controllers is PLC, programmable logic control. Now the advantages of the electronics controller: they are compact in size, faster in their response, high reliability, high accuracy, low installation cost, and easy interfaces with computers, data processing and data acquisition system. And disadvantage of electronic controller are they are susceptible to the fire risk. Now analog electronic controllers are proportional controller, means P controller, integral controller is I controller, PI means combination of these two, PID means proportional integrator and differential controller, and now last is lead and lag compensator. Now first, proportional P controller. Analog electronic process controllers must be capable of providing one or more of the three main methods of control, namely proportional, integral and derivative. The first one is a proportional controller. In P-type controller, the output power is directly proportional to the control error. The higher the proportional gain, the lesser the output power at the same control error. The figure shows the proportional controller, which is in an inverting amplifier using op-amp. The controller input is applied at the inverting terminal of the op-amp. The expression for the output voltage is given as V2 is given as minus R2 by R1 into V1. As a gain is minus R2 by R1 is a constant, we can say that the output voltage is this is a gain, means gain is a constant. So we can say that output voltage V2 is directly proportional to the input voltage V1. Hence the name proportional controller. The gain of the amplifier is known as a proportional gain. The value of the proportional gain of the controller is modified by changing these two resistance R2 and R1. The input voltage V1 to the controller is a error signal. This is the simplest form of proportional control as shown in the figure, and the overall voltage gain is V2 by V1, means output voltage upon input voltage is equal to minus R2 upon R1. R2 is a feedback resistance, R1 is a input resistance. So the output voltage is proportional to the input voltage. The value of the proportional band of the controller is modified by changing the value of the resistance R2 and R1. Next is the advantages of the proportional controller. The main advantage of the proportional controller is its fast speed of response, and the second is the change in output take place as soon as an error is produced. Now disadvantage of proportional controller is due to the fast action, sometimes the system cannot come to a steady state at all. That means the value of parameter being a control we keep fluctuating above and below its desired value. Now next is an integral controller. In I-type controller, the output power is not directly proportional to the control error, but it is a proportional to the integration of error input signal. The pure integral controller is shown in this figure, which is an ideal inverting integrator circuit. Here input is connected at a minus side, minus terminal, so it is an inverting integrating circuit. The controller output voltage is given as output voltage is V3. So V3 is equal to minus 1 upon R1 C1 integration of V1 dt plus constant K. Means the output voltage is an integration of the input voltage, and here constant is minus 1 upon R1 C1. Due to the gradual charging of the capacitor, the output voltage does not change quickly, instead it changes gradually. Hence the pure integral controller is a slow controller and it is not used in a many application. Instead of a proportional plus integral controller is used in a many application. Pure integral action or control is obtained from the circuit shown in the figure. Integral circuit is often used in a conjunction with the proportional controller, two terms called PI controller, as a name of reducing a steady state deviation or offset. Now, advantage of integral controller is due to the slow speed of response of the system does not oscillate. That means the value of the parameter being controlled will be reached without any fluctuation above and below its desired value. And disadvantage is the main disadvantage of integral controller is its slow speed of response. Now next is PI controller, proportional integrator controller. In this controller, both proportional and integral actions are combined together to obtain the advantage of both proportional and integral controller. This is a combination of proportional and integral controller. The P plus I controller is as shown in the figure, which is practically a inverting integration circuit. Means input signal is connected at the negative signal. The R2 and R1 provided the proportional action, where the capacitor C1 and R1 provide the integrator action. Means this R2 and R1 provide proportional function, and R1 and C1 provides its integral function integral function. The proportional gain is equal to minus R2 by R1 and the integral action time is R1 C1. Here the integral action time of proportional plus integral controller can be explained in terms of output waveform for the step change in the input signal shown in the figure. Here this is a input signal step function and this is a output function. Since the op-amp in the figure is connected as an inverting amplifier, a negative step change will the input voltage is applied to produce a positive output voltage wave. Means here negative step voltage is applied to the op-amp, but op-amp is connected in an inverting type, so the output voltage becomes a positive step voltage. As soon as the step change is applied, the proportional action of the controller causes the output voltage to change suddenly by the Y1 volts. Means this Y1 step is due to the proportional action. Then the action of integrator capacitor then causes the controller output voltage to rise at the steady state rate. This rise due to integral control. It takes a time known as an integral action time for the output voltage to rise by the further Y1 volts. The first Y1 volts increase due to the proportional action, and then next Y1 rise output due to the integral control. The PI controller are very popularly used in a speed control application of DC and AC motor. The advantage of PI controller is PI controller provides zero control error and it is insensitive to interference of the measurement channel. And the disadvantage of PI controller is that it is slow speed of the response. Now next is a PID controller. In PID controller, the output power is proportional to the sum of three coefficients: proportional, integrator and differential. The higher the proportional coefficient, the less output power at the same control error. The higher the integration coefficient, the slower the accumulated integration coefficient. The higher the differentiation coefficient, the greater the response of the system to the disturbance. The PID controller is used in an inertial system with the relatively low noise level of the measuring channel. The resistance R1 and R2 provide a proportional control, while the capacitor C1 with R1 introduce integral controller and the C2 provides a derivative control. The proportional gain is a minus R2 by R1. Integral time constant is R1 C1 and the differential time decided by R3 and C2. The process of a proper adjustment of the three parameters like proportional gain, integral time constant and the differential time constant is known as a controller optimization. Here differential time decided by R2 and C2. Differential time constant is decided by R2 and C2. Proportional gain is minus R2 by R1. Integral time constant is a R1 C1 and differential time decided by R2 into C2. The process of a proper adjustment of the three parameter proportional gain, integral time constant and differential time constant is known as a controller optimization. The controller optimization is to be done by taking into account the parameter of the system being controlled. The PID controller are used in a various feedback control industrial system. This is a combination of three controller P, I and D. The advantage of PID controller is fast response, no overshoot or undershoot if properly optimized, and ensure stable operation of the system being controlled. The disadvantages are controller optimization need to be done as per the system parameters, and optimization process is little tricky. The application of PID controllers are in temperature control, in pressure control and other industrial system. Now next is lead and lag compensator. Lag compensation and lead compensation are two frequency compensation method often employed in a stable op-amp circuit. These two are a frequency compensation method. The phase lag network in the figure A introduce additional phase lag at some low frequency where the op-amp phase shift is still small, that additional phase lag has no effect. It can be shown that the frequency where Xc1 is very greater than R2, means reactance of capacitor 1 is very greater than resistance R2. So the voltage V2 lags V1 by as much as 90 degree. So, capacitance has a larger value, so this circuit becomes a capacitive. Therefore, the voltage V2 lags V1 by much as a 90 degree. At the higher frequency where Xc1 is very less than R2, no significant phase lag occurs and the lag network merely introduce same attenuation. The effect of this attenuation is the open loop voltage gain AV versus frequency graph is moved to the left as illustrated in the figure B. The effect of lag compensation, this frequency can be moved to the left side. Thus the frequency X1 at which AV into B is equal to 1 for the given closed loop gain is moved lower frequency fx2. fx2 is a lower frequency than fx1 because fx2 is less than fx1. The phase shift fx2 is less than fx1 and the circuit likely to be the stable. The network in the figure C introduce a phase lead. In this network, Xc1 is very greater than resistance 1. Here the Xc1 is very greater than R1. The voltage V2 leads V1. This phase lead cancels some of the unwanted phase lag in the operational amplifier. So theta versus frequency graph as shown in this figure, thus rendering the circuit more stable. The phase lag and phase lead network are both used internally for the frequency compensation methods in op-amp circuit. Both type of circuit can also be used externally. For lag compensation, capacitor can be connected in a parallel in series with the R2 and then connected in a parallel with the R1. And for the lead compensation, capacitor is connected in a series with the R1 and then R2 is connected in the parallel. Now these are the questions that we covered in our today's video. Thank you.